Hi there, I'm Elaine from superkitchenmachine.com, and I don't represent the company of the Thermomix kitchen machine, and I'm not trying to sell you a machine. I'm here to share with you today how I like to make puff pastry, because we have this incredible machine at our disposal and we want to use the power of this machine to make puff pastry, because I think most people use chilled water when they make puff pastry, but we can use really chilled water because we have an amazing machine. We're going to use chilled water that's so chilled it's ice. So this is how I make puff pastry, with ice, flour, salt, and butter, and it's outstanding. And once you try it, you're going to love it because it's so fun and so easy to do it this way. It's so tasty. You're going to go crazy being creative. You can use it for everything from sweet to salty to savory, and wrap it up or cut it out or whatever. You're gonna love it. So, and it's because it's fun. It's a different way. Check it out. Okay, we're starting out with 90 to 95 grams of ice cubes in the Thermomix, and then I'm going to add, I'm trying to do this one-handed, 200 grams of frozen butter, which it helps if you heat your knife up in some hot water. Just put it under running water for a few seconds. That'll help you cut up some frozen butter. Alright, and then I have half a teaspoon of salt going in, and we're going to add 200 grams of flour. So for people who don't have a machine yet, a Thermomix machine, this is how you add your ingredients by weight. We push a button here to reset the scale to 0, and then we take our flour and I'm going to pour it in here, a little bit at a time, and you can see it registering here. I don't know how, whoops, there we are. Well, we went a little bit over, so I'm going to just take a pinch out. There we go, 200 grams of flour, and then put the lid on. Of course, I'm missing my little cap. Nope, here it is. Put the cap on the lid, and then we mix this. We chop up the ice and grind it up for 7 seconds on speed 7. So to get to 7 seconds, we put our timer on to 7, and then the speed here will go up to 7. Let's take a look at that. And it just looks like ground up coconut. It doesn't look like dough yet. So now I have a little bit of water here, 2 tablespoons of water, and what I'm going to do is first mix the dough for 5 seconds, reverse, speed 5, still looks pretty much the same. And now I'm going to knead it for 3 minutes, and the way that we knead is by putting the dial to the closed lid position, and then we push the button with the wheat symbol, which is a setting that kneads, and it spins the blades forward 5 times and then backward rotation once. And we're going to do that for 3 minutes while adding the water into the mix. We're going to set the timer for 3 minutes, watching the camera, not the machine. We don't need it to be on reverse. We have the closed lid position. We have the dough. We're going to push that And you can watch it as I add some water in. But I just want you, there it goes, it's going backwards now. See that? Isn't that great? Backwards and then forwards. But look at what we have. It's quite surprising, really. Do you see that? I don't know if the camera is picking this up. Yes, it is. So because of the ice crystals being in there and how they coagulate the butter, doesn't look like dough, does it? These are like little beads of dough, and as it's mixing for 3 minutes, you can even hear the little ice crystals tinkling in the bowl, and you can still sort of hear them when you move the dough around. It's really different, and it's really fun. So at this point, I tip it onto the silicone mat. If you don't have a silicone mat yet, you should get one. Every Thermomix kitchen needs one of these for all kinds of different things. And you can get one from the demonstrator, or you can order one through Amazon if you want to go into the shopper's guide on Super Kitchen Machine, and you can get one that way. Most kitchens can even benefit from having more than one. I wish I had more than one. I only have the one mat. But anyway, so there we go. That comes out nice and clean. And I'm going to show you how to do this without even touching the dough. Now, it's not because I don't like touching dough, because believe me, I love to cook with my hands. But sometimes when we're cooking, we get a phone call or somebody needs attention or something like that, and it's nice to have your hands without all kinds of dough on them. So I take the mat and compress the dough, and these little beads are going to be creating the air pockets later, because they're beads of fat and water and flour. And after this gets compressed, it's going to rest in the fridge for a bit. It's just an easy little shaping. Make a nice little bundle, little package. And that's what I'm going to do, is just like that, bundle it up, put it in the fridge. Okay, here we are. This is what we have after 30 minutes in the fridge. Little beads of dough have just sort of stuck together a little bit more, and now we're going to roll this out using the advantage of the silicone mat. So I'm going to put it like this. Just wondering if the camera is catching this. I'm going to add a little flour, fold the mat over top, and press and roll. Now, if you had a silicone rolling pin, you'd be able to do this without having to fold over your mat. I don't have a silicone rolling pin yet, and I find the mat is really, really helpful. These silicone mats are available from Thermomix demonstrators and distributors, and if you don't have one, you really should get yourself one. It's really an essential tool in the Thermomix kitchen. You can also get them on Amazon if you go through the shopper's guide on superkitchenmachine.com. and get yourself one that way. Now, as I am rolling, I'm also going to fold the dough into thirds and keep adding a little bit of flour to it, like that. I have to sort of press it down. It's not a straightforward roll initially. So by this point we've spent, oh, I don't know how many minutes on the dough. It took 3 minutes of kneading in the machine, and we're going to give it a little bit of folding and rolling here. Now, I'm going to stop the camera, give it a little bit more rolling, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, here we are with the sheet of Thermomix rough puff pastry that is now about a centimeter thick, I think. And I think that's about the size of a store-bought sheet. And I'm going to make some vol au vent today. We're going to cut these into classic sort of vol au vent shapes, dipping the cutter into flour as we go, which helps the dough not stick so much. I'm putting those aside because I'm not putting them on the baking sheet just yet. By the way, the oven is warming to a temperature of 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius, which is, I think, gas mark 6 for friends in the UK. And I've never made these before, I have to say. This is a first. I have made the pastry a few times, and it's always successful. And I've used it to make different shaped things. It's a great way to add a little elegant, sort of fun, festive. Oh, there's my oven is ready. So it adds a little festive flair to just about anything you want to serve. You can put pizza ingredients on these, and automatically they become so much more special. You can of course use this kind of dough for savory or sweet. Now, there are a few different techniques that can be used for getting shapes, and if you want to make a vol au vent, you can layer two of these on top of each other, make a ring out of one, seal them with egg wash, or you can score a sort of a center lid by just gently scoring, not going all the way down to the bottom. And then when these bake, the lid, it makes it easier to remove the center after they're baked. And this to me is the easiest way to go. And I'm not fussy about keeping the shape perfect. I like the sort of, well, it's rough puff pastry, and it's fun when it looks handmade. So if these shapes get a little bit squished as you go, not the end of the world. Not for me. It's important to have your oven hot before they go in. Okay, so here we are. I've just taken them out of the oven. You can even hear these little puffs sizzling, and they're looking good. They're golden. They smell buttery and almost nutty. And I'm going to transfer them to a wire rack, and then once they've cooled just a little, I'll be pushing down the centers or taking the centers out, as the case may be, depending on how we end up wanting to use them. I just wanted to show one more thing here, which is how easy it is to push these little centers down once you've scored them before cooking. You just push the middle down like that, and there we go, ready to be filled. Here's one I've already done. Here's another. Some people cut the centers out with a knife, but I think it's easier to just, well, let's try that. I think the idea is if you cut the center out, then you can use that as a little decorative cap once you put your filling inside. I think we still need to push down on the inside. Oh, it is so lovely inside there. Ooh.